What's up, and welcome to a little special mini pod episode 41 of NCP. Um, got the usual suspects here to close out the regular season. Wouldn't have it any other way. We got potential first time back to back golden picker, Mr. Colin. How are you doing, my man?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good.
Certainly, we were just talking about, well, I had completely forgotten, but Colin was just reminding me that he won Preds last season, and had the classic, Midas fate of having a horrible season. It must be pretty nice to be able to reverse that fortune this year.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a good season, but we're not done yet. Got work to do. If we don't get things done week 10 or the playoffs, then it's still a bad season.
Fair enough. I've had plenty of suboptimal playoff runs, so I could feel that. Speaking of someone who is putting all his eggs in week 10, he's wagering
Yep.
everything on week 10, just like last year. We got MLT him. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'd like to thank David for letting me repeat this process 2 seasons in a row. Pretty excited about it. Yeah.
I'd say you're in a very different position this year than last year. Last year, you kind of had things in your hands going into week 10, but it was like a difficult path. This season, I feel like you kind of are just like leaving things up to chance a little bit more.
Yeah. Not necessarily seeking it out. Just if something falls in my lap, great. But otherwise, it'll be all right.
Never heard Hamilton so zen in my entire life. But we're not going to do our normal full-fledged recap of the results. We're just going to put the little table up on the board. For MLS, Tanya doomed Jake to a third straight season. Crazy that even Jake has been in here for next year will be his third seasons, but he is doomed to repeat in MLS. Hamilton took care of business in 2 against Freddie. Freddie's Doctor Strange permutation calculus did not pan out. He will be in MLS again. And then Reed beat Colin in a surprising banger to finish it out. I don't know if you listened back to the full VOD, Colin, but Freddie had a very interesting idea about how his season should play out next year. Did you hear that?
I probably did, but I was probably too distracted by being called a dumb, stupid idiot over and over.
Yeah, a lot of people were throwing stuff out. Sorry. Sometimes when groupthink is a powerful thing, is what I'll say. So
What was
sometimes
what was Fred's idea?
Hamilton, I'm gonna need your help for this. I know we talked through it. I believe Freddie basically just sits out the entirety of season 5. And then Hamilton, was he saying he plays against the playoff teams?
I, I think he said he plays. It's either the loser of the playoff of SPL or the winner of the playoff of MLS. It was one of those two.
With his
I
team
want to
from
say it
this
was one of
season?
those playoffs from for the of season 5. And if he wins, he gets to go back into SPL, and if he loses, he stays in this third division. But due to his sacrifice of sitting out all season, he gets to run whatever lineup he wants, and they get to run with their stamina and their limited lineup.
After a long and careful consideration, I'm gonna have to say no on that one. Fred, that's a horrendous idea,
You
and you know it.
you heard it from the CTO himself. The answer is no. I will say, I think that is, his idea last year that he got to play Dave for Dave's promo slot was already that was far fetched. I think Freddie might be losing it down in MLS. Man is
Fred, you're gonna have to get it done on the field.
man is cooking up crazy plots. But the good news is that we're not making a tier 3 next season. So, Freddie, just win MLS and you're back. Very easy as someone who's never been in MLS before. Those
Super
results,
easy.
yeah. Those results left us with a very interesting table. Feels very reminiscent of last season in MLS, where Reed Hot Chili Strikers sit on top on 20 points. Warriors FC, after they went to Game 3, tied on points, but behind on head-to-head. So also 20 points in second place. Double Dry Bones sitting directly behind them in third on 19 points. Nepo Babies sealing their playoff position in fourth. Believe they are unable to... Is it possible for them to catch you?
If I lose in two and they win and maintain the GD,
Okay.
Which
So
they would.
yeah, that'd be impossible for you
I mean,
to...
I
yeah,
guess at
yeah.
game three, go to game three and have their loss be an absolute blowout. The only way.
I
Yeah.
also got to double check head to head there, but I'm not. I think they beat me.
G beat
Yeah,
you in week 8.
they beat me
We're
earlier.
getting
No,
ahead of
we're
ourselves. We're
split.
getting ahead of
We're
ourselves.
split. We're
This was
split.
supposed to be our next segment. Milwaukee Bucks in fifth on 12 points, and Fred Chester United in sixth on 8 points. Sorry, I need to get that last little bit out. That was really important. So, did you just double check head to head, Ham?
I did. It's split.
It's split.
So Tanya gets third if they win, and I get swept, and they maintain a GD, which is improbable that it would not be the case.
So that's not off the table for you, but I guess that doesn't really matter.
It's a spot.
Yeah. And I believe we had talked about for all MLS games, top seed gets double ban, bottom seed gets one ban, and then it just alternates for picks in the 5.
I think that makes sense.
Just because we didn't want to weight any one of these like crazy heavy. So it's just a light advantage to the top seed in both of those.
Yeah.
So 3-4, definitely is better, but nowhere near as good as 2. I did some playoff permutations for MLS. Reed has the most win cons just because he holds head to head over Colin. So he can afford to effectively match Colin's result.
Yeah.
But if Reed does not match and does any worse than Colin in point totals, then Colin will take first. And on paper, we're going to talk a lot more, about like the upcoming matchups on paper. Colin has a more favorable matchup than Reed does against Tanya. But there's some logic that could be thrown around. Colin, how are you feeling about your current position?
I mean, we play Ham this week. We really just have to take care of business against Ham to at least guarantee top 2. Obviously, I would love if Reed loses to Tanya, but at this point, that's out of my hands. PD got his revenge on me, and so Reed has head to head on me. So that's out of my control. But if we win, just win, then we can at least get top 2 and we have Wario through the playoffs. As I was talking to Ham earlier, I have not played Bowser all season. So that could be a first matchup if we have a me Ham promo game. Be the first time I've played Bowser. So We'll see what happens.
I can tell you that I've given some tape on that the past 2 seasons.
Yeah, and it's not really great tape.
There's not a lot of tape on Peach Bowser.
No, for a reason.
This does feel like very reminiscent of the MLS promo last season. So I think Cam was in first, playing against Dave in third,
Yep.
and Garrett was in second,
Yep.
and Hamilton dropped points to Dave. Garrett won, and sealed promotion. So once again, this time we have the Shat dog instead of the Shat cat. Hamilton, do you believe that Reed is going to get it done, or do you think he might get stuck in the promo?
Um, I think I think that it is smart of Tanya to run the did this week. Um, and that would make it so that way, the did that would make it so she has Bowser Jr. for the next 2 weeks. But Reed does know that the did is a really valuable captain, and so that might get it done against Reed. Also, Tanya, I feel like beat the brakes off of me last or 2 weeks ago, so I have nothing but respect for anything they throw out there. Um, so I really don't have a pred here. I'll make one when it's time for preds, but that game could really go either way. I do think Colin beats me this week, so I think Reed has to win in order to stay in first.
Mm-hmm. I'm really glad that you were the one to bring that point up about Tanya resting the did, because that directly affects you guys and doesn't affect me. So, thanks, Ham.
Yep.
Um, but
I
yeah,
wasn't gonna do it.
What'd you say?
Said I wasn't gonna do it.
Slight leak. But that's kind of the MLS situation. Anyone have any other thoughts before we go to just SPL results from last week?
I think Colin should run Peach this week, so that way if he falls to third, he's got Wario for both seasons, both games. I think that would be really smart of him. There's no other reason that I want him to run Peach this week.
Fair shout, Colin.
Um, I was talking to him about this earlier. I would rather just win, and then I'm just in at least the 2 seed, and then I don't need to worry about that.
Sounds great.
And Wario is, as of right now, career 8-0 versus Daisy.
Bet you wish you had Mario right now.
It was as not as good of a record versus Daisy.
He also can lose in week 9 versus Mario can lose in week 9 versus Peach pretty well.
Yep, did
Got some
did
history
did,
with
did
that
do
one.
that. SPL slate of games. I won in map 3 over Dave. Post Markley dropping. Real quick, I just want to say I am so freaking stoked that Garrett picked up Markley. I had a trade
tried.
potentially lined up with Danny where I was gonna do a boo for a toad. I was gonna trade Markley for a toad instead of picking a boo up off waivers. And I decided to risk it because I figured there was a slight chance that someone above Danny on the waiver wire would snatch up Markley. And then Danny wouldn't get better and I would just not, I think Boo and Toad are pretty interchangeable, especially after this season, what we've seen from defensive Boos. So shouts out to Garrett. I think not only is that a good move for Garrett's season this year, but that also strengthens Garrett's roster for next season. Whether or not
Slightly on, he put that request in. I think 5 minutes after I announced that you had dropped him.
Yes.
The time code is 8:25 a.m. on last Thursday.
He was ready. It wouldn't have made a difference, but he was ready. Danny doomed Jacob, ended his Doctor Strange permutations in a very convincing win. And then Eric and Garrett played out a tense 3-game thriller that I don't remember whatsoever, but that looks like it was probably intense. Oh, it was a dumpster matchup, wasn't it?
It was Daisy did.
It was Daisy did. Yeah, that's why. But it was high stakes. It was very tense. But Eric not only really needed a point, he really needed a win to stay in contention. So that brought us to the current table. Going into week 10, we got HC United on top on 21 points, not 21 points, not 20 points. Thanks, Colin. Spread triple option in second on 19. Bridesmaids in third on 18. Goose Crusade in fourth on 18. That's a head-to-head. It's technically also goal difference, but head-to-head is far more important. Uprising in fifth on 13. And come on, Mr. Monty. End of an era. Mr. Monty and Yoshi. He's going to be scoring goals for him down in the MLS. Any
have to outbid Reed.
What'd you say?
Might have to outbid Reed for Yoshi. Might be a steeper price. Reed's gonna come up. Never mind. The Yoshis are just gonna swap leagues.
Yeah, which would be generational for Reed next season.
Reed could potentially, if Garrett doesn't beat who I'm predicting to beat Eric, could keep both of his captains if he promotes. Or I guess he couldn't keep them, but he would have the choice of protecting whichever one he wanted, because that would mean both Petey and Yoshi going down.
Yeah, the one downside to the steal that Reed got Petey on is there's no way that protecting Petey at like 23 coins does anything. But definitely point taken.
Pull up what the value of everyone else is too.
But yeah, no. Rest in peace, Mr. Monty. One of the holdouts of a person who had made not every single playoffs. He missed playoffs last season. But anyway, he'd been in SPL the whole time. Sad.
Top 4 every time.
So we were talking a little bit about permutations beforehand.
Number 2 all-time in goals.
What'd you say?
Number 2 all-time in goals.
Rip.
Mr. Monty.
Definitely
1 in goals per game.
Career. Wow.
Season 2, Mr. Monty went nuts.
What a legend. So Dave. If Dave
needs to win or Danny has to lose to stay in first. A point does not suffice.
Point does not suffice.
They've made his pledge, by the way, just now.
I'd also tell you that Danny got 9 GD last week against Jacob. I didn't put that how important that was until just now. He'd be at 13, which is a manageable gap for Dave to make up. But now he's at 22, which is, in my opinion, not a manageable gap to make up.
He also got game 3 versus me was a blowout, which didn't help. And in theory means if he loses in 2, I'm probably catching him in goal difference.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Danny's very much in a prime position, playing against the princess. So Danny's basically just needs to win. If he loses, he's kind of fucked. Could potentially go all the way down to 4th. I basically need to match Eric's results, and I'm good. There's a theoretical world where stuff happens outside of my control, and I end up all the way in first. Doesn't seem likely. And Eric very much needs to win. There's a theoretical world where he loses in 3 and I lose in 2, and he's safe. And Garrett is the
Been losing in
beast
3 a
that
lot.
sits in promo. What'd you say, Colin?
That he's been losing in 3 a lot, apparently. He's
Eric?
got the same amount of points as you and less wins.
Yeah.
So while the top 3 all have the same record, but Dave's just up 3 points on you.
Yeah.
You have no game 3 losses. He's got 3 game 3 losses.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll just say this out loud. This is the pockets that I've been holding on to for a couple weeks. Do you want to try and guess when the last time I got a game 3 loss, when the last time I got 1 point was? Any ideas?
Week 2, season 3.
Season 3 against Danny. I don't know what week.
The answer
Just versus
the answer is
Danny.
I've never gotten a point. In the past 2 seasons, I've never lost in 3. I've 1 and 2, 1 and 3, but I have never gotten a point. The last time I lost in a game 3 was like week 6 of season 2 against Danny. So since we instituted this format, I have not gotten a singular point at any moment. And have been holding on to that deep down just because I'm scared. I'm really scared. So on one hand, that means I never get points. I never go to 3, but that also means I'm 9-0 or something like that in game 3s. So there's give and take. I have now completely jinxed myself. GG's Eric. Congratulations on staying in SPL, but I won't be putting a sock in my mouth.
Last season, you went 4-0 in game 3.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that just means the boys are clutch.
Oh yeah, it's not the boys, it's Mario. Mario has the goddamn ice. Even it was only. Never mind. I'm gonna end that. That didn't make sense.
Right. Yeah, 8-0 in game 3 since we instituted. Because season 2, we didn't do the point, right?
No, that was a season 3
It's just
edition.
record.
Any other?
Season 2, you only lost in 3.
Yes, that is right. And then from the moment I asked for my 0-second goal against Garrett, everything changed. Any other thoughts on the SPL table?
Really?
It's sad to see Jacob go.
Yeah, dude. Rest in peace to a legend. All right. Preds for week 10, as I have copied week 9. And
You copied week 9.
no, these are the games from week. I just tried to cheat and pull
Okay.
that forward. Those are the right games.
We do, if we care, they're not in contention, so maybe we don't care. But I believe Fred and Reed also picks in, but I don't have them up, so someone else will have to do that.
Hamilton, do you have that, or do you want me to try and do it?
I can get it.
Okay. I think it's only right that we force the golden picker to go first.
I'll go first. Let me pull up rosters here. I was gonna suggest we change the order of the schedule around for extra drama, but it looks like MLS is already kind of set up that way. With this first game meaning absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
There's an argument to flip the second and the third game, but it's just an argument to flip where anybody wants to be. There's not really a good.
Yeah, it would be if Reed lost to Tanya, then that we should be last, but there's no guarantee that happens.
Yeah.
Because
It
no
doesn't
matter
matter.
More fun with
what the
Reed
result
playing
of
for
your
the championship.
no matter what the result of your game is, Reed's game will have stakes.
Yeah.
So that this is optimal.
Yeah.
Colin knew what he was doing.
That was a wheel. The wheel knew what they were doing.
The wheel always
Rivalry week
knows.
was also popping. Just gonna throw that shot back out there.
I'm gonna go Jake. Well, Fred doesn't have double hammer bro available, but I'm gonna go Jake in three. It's just been that kind of season for Fred.
Hmm. I'm gonna go. What does Jake have? Freddie has his
Everything
team,
but a
the only team
Koopa.
that's got his points. Jake has everything but his Koopa, so we're gonna see
Yeah.
double Birdo, with a Boo and a Toad.
Yeah.
I'm going Fred in two actually. I don't think it's gonna be a good finish for Milwaukee. They can only beat Ham. I also want it to end up so that way exactly half of Jake's points are from beating Hamilton. And I believe that only happens if he wins in two.
Thanks for that.
Yep.
I'm gonna go Fred in three. I think he ends on a bang. We've said he's a second half manager. Might as well end on top, you know. The Pod Boys have gotten a guarantee with Jake and two from Dave, Jake and two from Freddie, and Jake and three from Reed.
The anti-pod guarantee.
Have we set the stakes that Colin has to? Well, Dave is down by 5 for the golden picker.
Down by
Yeah, he's down by 5.
So if David matches Colin for one more pick, it's over.
Which is why I'm not looking at Dave's picks and why Ham is reading those results off because I don't want to
But
just copy what Dave's doing. The odds that we overlap are very high, but I didn't want to guarantee it.
I will state that Dave does have a tiebreaker on Colin if he does manage to get the 5. He's got more perfects.
Got more perfect.
So he has to go 5 for 5 and reverse every pick from Colin here.
Yeah. But he doesn't need more perfects.
All right, Dave, you're about to find out in real time whether or not you've won. I have a feeling I know where you're
I'm
gonna go
gonna
in the Ham Colin
I'm gonna
matchup.
go with myself. I'm gonna go with myself in 3. They're not gonna make it. They're not gonna make it comfortable for me. They never do. But Wario is undefeated against Daisy. Um, but I was undefeated against Fred, and I gave up 1. So I think Wario gives up 1 to Daisy.
I don't. Colin and 2.
Yeah, and 2 versus 3 has absolutely no impact on the standings.
No.
I mean, I guess actually I was gonna
helps
say
guarantee
with
me not
against.
getting 4th.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess yeah, I get for you two, but you two are never gonna tie because Ham missed a week.
Oh, I wasn't talking
I
golden
was
picker.
talking
I'm
table.
talking,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
it
that's what I'm
helps me.
saying.
I'm gonna go ahead and slap this on here because this is some top tier defecation from him. He's trying to send himself down to 4th.
We did the math. Ham has lost 5 points by not picking himself.
Um,
Ever.
Austin, I would tell you, um, I did when we did our mid-season predictions, predict that I would get 4th.
Who was in second?
Could have been anyone.
It's true. It's hard to remember.
David put Colin in 2. Freddie picked
All right,
me in 3.
I can pull up the
And
prediction sheet.
Reed picked me in 3. Or me in 2, sorry. That's not the right name.
You sure?
Yeah.
Reed picked you in 3?
Reed picked myself in 2.
Oh, that's just him trying to manifest. Yeah, we'll have
I
to.
won the golden picker.
I'll be honest, I don't know that Reed updated these picks because he did spam them in just so he was eligible.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's gone in and edited them yet.
Well, eligibility does not bring credibility, and I believe we have a golden picker.
Yeah.
As
Reed's
he
also not gonna. Reed would be in last of all the eligible people at the moment, anyway.
Absolutely. Which is impressive because Freddie ripped him week 1.
All right, Colin, Reed, Tanya.
um, Tanya has the kid, right? Or I mean,
They have the ability to
potential
play Donkey,
That's not true.
has the ability to
not
play
Donkey.
Bowser Jr.
That one.
Reed
That'd be
has
pretty sick if they
Yoshi,
did have that
Koopa,
ability.
Shy
I'd like
Guy,
that
Dry
ability.
Bones. I'm assuming Reed does not go triple balance because that would be something.
He's
So the
done it
Dry Bones is
before.
gonna be out there. Um, Tanya, unpredictable as fuck. But man, do I love me the kid. Give me Tanya. I'm predicting what I hope will happen. Tanya in 3.
I'm thinking that Tanya's going to start the did, and I genuinely think that Reed might drop the ball on this one. And so I'm going to go Tanya in 3.
Can you drop the ball against the did? I mean, you
Yeah.
can, clearly. But actually,
Let's-
wait, did undefeated in week 10, by the way. Just saying.
For how many seasons?
2? Because we did 8 weeks in season 1, and then I believe I beat Danny week 10, season 2, and beat whoever I played in week 10, season 3 with the did. Oh, I
let's-
don't actually know what happened in the SPL last year. Maybe he didn't play week 10.
I'll go check the website.
Let's see, week 10, captain. I played him. He's undefeated in week 10.
The did lifetime 0-2 versus PD, 6-5 versus Yoshi.
PD's unavailable.
PD's unavailable. I think that this is the only time the entire season when it would make sense for Tanya to play the did, and so that gives me full faith that BJ's running out there. And I think that Reed wins that matchup. I'm going Reed in 3.
The two people who think she's playing Diddy picked her to win. The person who thinks she's playing Bowser Jr. picked her to lose.
That's how rent-free Tanya's living in our heads.
Antipod went Reed in 3, Tanya in 3, Reed in 2. Thank you.
You said Reed in 3, Tanya
Reed
in 2?
3, and then Reed in 2.
He's a confident man. Danny versus Eric.
Yeah. 2.
It's a
Wait, let me see what his roster is.
it's an absolute.
Oh, he's got
absolute, by the way.
everyone. He's got
I mean,
everyone.
I'm down to drop Dan in 2 if you guys are.
Dan definitely wants to win. Let me think through this.
He hit the boo
He
refresh.
wants to win.
He hit the boo refresh this week.
Yes.
I'll go 2.
He doesn't have a toad, but that's fine. I mean, the only person, yeah, he runs whatever he wants because he's not going to run double hammer, bro. Dan in 2. His entire roster is available next week.
I'll go along for the bit because Danny's the GOAT. But Eric hasn't lost in 2 since his change. And then I think even before that, he's only lost in 2 once. So
Yeah, that is true.
yeah, I don't think it's likely, but paper says not looking great. Eric does have Eastwood available and T.
Yeah.
He's got a pretty good team. Um, but I also think
We
that
can get the
Danny
Bowser
doesn't let.
versus Peach data.
I don't think Danny lets Sand Tomb through.
Yeah. Antipod boys went all Dan 3-2-3.
Bowser's 3-1 versus Peach all time.
Very unplayed matchup.
And a lot of Bowser Peach owners, and by that I mean 2.
Yeah.
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 Have there ever been 2, or has it just been Danny?
Didn't Ham last season?
No, he had Mario.
Oh,
That's true.
true. Then Danny twice.
Did Danny have Peach at the beginning of the season? That's right, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snuck myself in there for 3 against Jacob. I am
That's Jacob. God.
dreading this game. For schedule, we should probably bump Dave Garrett up top.
Then if they lose, they either have the drama of who's going to catch him, or if they
Yeah.
win,
And
then you
then
have
me
the
second, and then Danny Eric last. I think
That
that's the
makes
only. I
sense.
think it's the only way that every series has stakes.
Is
Well-
Danny's ahead of you right now.
Yeah.
And then no matter what happens, if you win, then Danny
Yeah.
needs to win to pass you. If you lose, Eric needs to win.
If Danny
Eric
doesn't
could
win
win to
against
send you
Eric,
into the. Eric could make the playoffs. Yeah, I think
if
Dave
Danny
Garrett.
doesn't win against Eric, Danny's in fourth. I'm pretty sure. Is
Yeah,
that right? So Danny's got to win against that game no matter what, pretty much.
yeah.
If I win.
If Austin,
I will flip that now.
that's a good point. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Jacob has Yoshi. Austin has Mario and Wario. Jacob has his entire roster. Austin doesn't have Lil Boo.
Jacob did sweep me
I'm
earlier
going
this
Austin.
season.
I'm going Austin in 3.
We got Austin, Jacob in 2.
You said you're
I
on
also
Jacob in
believe it.
2.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can't pick Jacob in 3.
That's there's a reason it's 2.
That's kind of
Antipod went Austin in 2, Jacob in 3, Austin in 2.
Fred slinging these out a full season ago just gets even better. He should predict next season. Dave versus Garrett. Got confirmation from Garrett that he's not running the kid out there. I think he'll rest his good sidekicks. Who aren't even available.
Does Dave rest
God and dry bounce. So he's
Donkey
running
again?
Koopa. He's running Koopa, Boo, and Markley.
Yeah, Dave's in an interesting spot. It's slightly less interesting since he got that extra point thanks to Colin.
Good guy Colin catching mistakes. What a bum.
If he drops points here and falls to 2-3, then he has to run Luigi in the playoffs. And I think that his B lineup is significantly weaker than Danny or mine. Don't really know what Eric's A, B, C, D, or F lineups are. So he's in a slightly difficult spot.
Yeah, what does Dave do here? I think Dave sends it.
I think you
I'm
have
gonna go.
to.
I'm gonna go Dave in 3. But I don't hate Garrett's team.
No, it's not a bad team.
He doesn't have the dry bones or got, but he picked up Markley, which is a huge pickup. Like that's a him being at Markley changes that from Koopa, Boo, Shy Guy, and having a Monty in there instead of a Shy Guy is a much different team.
God, I love Garrett.
I think it's going to be Dave and two. I think he's really just going to handle business. The team's done it all season.
I'm gonna go Dave in 3, just because I think he's got a bit of a sidekick diff. But Colin brings up a good point. I think it's significantly more likely with that Markley pickup. That team does not look bad at all, and he has literally zero reason to run the did over PD.
Everyone he's got is on full stam.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone that he can run is on full stam besides Diddy. So there's no reason to rest someone for next week. Versus Dave has some decisions to make.
Garrett has the freaking arsenal for the play out game.
Yeah. PD, Drybones, Birdo, Monty, he could run. He's got Koopa, Boo. He'll have his full roster available.
Don't forget the did. Antipod went Dave 2.
So I think that tells us everything we need to know about what Dave's running.
Garrett 3. Dave 3.
Dave did it. I can check now. Okay.
And Colin and David went same for 5 out of 6.
Close.
Close.
Could have been.
Quick sneak peek: Jacob and Austin have sniped each other.
Unreal. Let's see if I can find where we did our mid-season predictions. There's our grades. All right. How are we looking here?
Milwaukee fell apart.
This was
before week 5.
Before week 5.
Absolutely drilled Milwaukee. We don't have to talk about the second place, but absolutely drilled Milwaukee.
Yeah, if you take Milwaukee out of there.
Wait, didn't we do you have like the full, didn't everyone fill one out? Not to turn this into a whole podcast.
Everyone filled one
out? Didn't everyone fill out a prediction form? Because someone had me like last.
You did.
Oh, yeah.
It's a survey. We're not getting that right now. Yeah, I'll make that decision.
Yeah, we'll reference that. We'll reference that next week. We shouldn't even be looking at this right now. We don't even have the final standings, and we're comparing.
Yeah.
I put myself first. God.
I think you were second at the time behind Dave. Maybe third.
Mm-hmm. I think that was probably like right after I beat Danny too. I was feeling good. We nailed Mr. Monty.
Yeah.
Nailed Uprising.
We were much more consistent with SPL.
Yeah, I'd say you were a little less consistent.
It's 4 and 5 are going to be.
No, that's fair. I mean,
it's. And really, I'm the only one who really differed that much, since you guys basically sniped each other in MLS.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to put that away. Could probably look at that for another 30 minutes. Nice, short, crisp mini pod. No ramblings. Really kept it condensed. I feel like it's way shorter than our normal episode.
I tried to make it longer.
You talking all stars?
Yeah.
We're gonna announce all stars next week on the pod. Everyone's in except Jake. Jake, know you're listening out there. Get that in. But before we enter week 10, any parting words of wisdom?
Go team.
Go Bucks.